Now, I'm briefly going to jump over to the other side of the business, the record label side. Just like we have a relationship between the songwriter and publisher about the exploitation, it's a good word, of Section 106 rights, we have another relationship between the recording artist and the record label about the exploitation of the 106 rights also. And if you look, there's a sheet on recording artist and on record label. What the recording artist does essentially is sell his recorded performance to the label for a percentage of the sales. That's a 300-page recording contract in one sentence. Remember, this is the recorded performance. Live performances, the record label doesn't participate in that. If the recording artist is in a movie, the record label doesn't participate in that. The record label only makes money 3 ways. And this is why record labels are kind of dying and changing. The 3 ways they make money: they sell actual copies of sound recordings. They sell the CDs, they sell the tapes, physical copies. Second way, they license the use of the sound recording. How many people have seen K-Tel Hits of the 60s? Well, K-Tel isn't really a record label. They haven't recorded all those artists. They've gone to other record labels and other holders of the sound recordings and licensed those compilations together. The same way, if a recorded performance is in a movie, that requires a license be issued by the record label to the movie producer for the recorded performance. Now, that's a little bit different from the license from the publisher to the movie producer for the composition itself. That's why in movies, a lot of times, the composition will be played by a band that's different from the original band that made it famous. The third way that a record label makes money, and remember I said before, Section 106, number 6, is only applicable to sound recordings. The third way they make money is from digital audio transmission. How many people have XM or Sirius satellite radio? That's a digital audio transmission. How many people have downloaded streaming internet media? That's also digital transmission. So there's a little bit of money there for the record labels. I'll give you a great hint about what's going to be happening in the next 2 or 3 years. You know, all television is going to go digital by February of 2009. And you got to get a converter box from Radio Shack and all of that. The next step in the process is that all terrestrial radio will go digital in a few years after that, which means that all radio performances, not just the satellite performances, but radio performances, will be digital transmissions. So that's another source of income for record labels or the holders of the P in the Circle sound recording copyright. Now, there's a million questions. Yeah, you got a question?
Yeah, so how does that differ? So it's going to be more money because all the transmissions are digital?
Yes, it'll be more money. The radio stations will have to pay into a fund, and that fund will pay, it'll be parallel to BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC, who pay the songwriters and the publishers. The fund will be parallel to that, and they'll pay the record labels. And usually in the recording contract between the recording artist and the record label, there's a clause that says how they will allocate other sources of income, like the digital audio transmissions or licensing of the sound recordings to a movie or other uses.
So why do they differ between analog and digital transmissions?
I don't know. It was really the law came in the late 70s, and back then, that was before they invented this internet thing. And I understand this, it's going to catch on with the kids, this internet thing. So that was really before they even had that in their brain. For them, digital audio transmission was the cable that people in certain communities in the mountains couldn't get broadcast TV because the mountains were blocking the antennas. All they could get was cable TV. But now cable TV has gone digital, and not only can you get 100 channels of movies, you can get 100 channels of music. That too is digital audio transmission. So part of your cable bill for channel 259 to channel 3000 music, that'll go digital audio transmission, and also some of that money, since it's broadcast, will go to the publishers and songwriters. Okay, that's copyright. Everybody's now an expert on copyright.